Hey, welcome back to the Cool Kids podcast. I'm your host, KF Salvatierra. This is the podcast where I talk to everyone about everything. The wonderful music you're hearing right now is by the wonderful Yotam Perel. Please check him out on Spotify, YouTube, Bandcamp. And welcome. It's episode 13. Fun little fact about me, 13 is one of my favorite numbers ever. I really got nothing else really saying these intros anymore, but I hope you guys are enjoying the season so far. Anyways. Do me a favor and hold this. No. Welcome everyone to stop. Oh my god. Welcome everyone to the Cool Kids podcast. I am your host, Kev Salvatierra. Today's wonderful, beautiful guest is my lovely and beautiful soon-to-be wife. This isn't like an engagement announcement.
Your parents listening to this right now are like, what?
This isn't an engagement announcement, but today's lovely guest is my girlfriend. I'm here to share a nice brewski with her.
I've already spilt it on the bed.
Thank you so much, because I needed that on my side of the bed too. We're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. Shouts out to PBR.
We're a bit broke right now, that's why.
There's nothing wrong with being broke, especially a broke couple. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're fucked,
What should we start off with then?
What should we start off with?
Yeah, talking about, there's lots of topics.
We talked about a lot of shit today. Not recorded or anything. We were just talking today.
Yeah.
We talked about Canada's Wonderland, which is Canada's most famous amusement park, would you say?
I think it's Canada's only amusement park. I know that they have some, Ontario's only amusement park.
They have a Six Flags in somewhere. They have a Six Flags in
Montreal?
Vancouver. Yeah, and Montreal. They have a Six Flags there.
I don't know geography, nor do I know.
It's not like American Six Flags.
Any information about...
Have you seen the Six Flags commercials? Have you ever seen those?
I've never seen any roller coaster commercial before, really.
Really?
Not even Canada's Wonderland.
Dude,
I can't recall.
Oh my god. They had this one commercial for Canada's Wonderland for Halloween Haunt, right?
Oh,
and it was this...
I lied. I remember those now.
Right? It was like a couple, they sit in the roller coaster, and as they're screaming and having a good time, they start turning into zombies, and then their skin starts fucking falling off, and it looks gross and disgusting.
Those were really scary. I was such a scared kid.
Kids.
And that was definitely I would run away from this TV whenever those came on.
Right? Doesn't it? It's so fucking scary.
TV needs more trigger warnings, I think, especially for kids.
Well, that's the point of PSAs. They're supposed to commercials. They're supposed to shock you.
I don't think so.
Remember those PSAs for drugs? They're just here's what you look like when you're on drugs.
Okay, that's
and
one thing. Those
picture.
are PSAs, right? That's meant to shock you.
Okay,
I mean, I'm talking about the slight traumatization you got from seeing the commercials of 1,000 Ways to Die as a kid.
Oh, trailers and
yeah,
shit?
That was
TV promos.
Someone needed to be oop, bloop, but a little quick 5-second boop. Careful, trigger warning.
It's fine.
TW on the screen before they show zombies or something. Because I was such a scared kid. Okay, and that shit stuck with me. I don't know. I bet there's a lot of kids out there that had highly
imaginative minds.
Yeah, and their minds couldn't stop imagining, right? And that would manifest in nightmares, especially when I saw shit.
That's true. Yeah. But at the same time, we were born in an era of different TV than before, right?
I guess that's supposedly my parents' responsibility for...
Yeah, TVs weren't made for kids.
Yeah,
primarily, it was just kids watch TV.
With their parents, or they see it. It wasn't even I was watching it most times that I saw these commercials. It's you walk past the living room, right?
Yeah. They have safeguards now for parents to use on TVs, you know, like parental lock. You could do that on Netflix and Disney Plus and whatever.
I wonder what we're gonna do for like parental guidance when we're old with children.
That's so fucking... I think about that because I saw a lot of fucked shit on the internet that I don't want my kid to see, right? I wouldn't want them like stumbling across like Reddit 50/50
or like Shane Dawson.
Imagine we catch our kid watching Shane Dawson.
Bro, I don't care what people think. I'm spanking my kid. At that point, no, I'm kidding.
Oh my god, my makeup line's about to come out. Oh my god, you know, was that a good Shane Dawson?
No.
I think that was a pretty good Shane Dawson.
I can do better. Like,
oh my god,
no.
Oh my god, she's lying. Oh my
Ready?
god.
It's like, hey guys, we're back with a new conspiracy theory.
That's
right?
good.
Yeah.
That's good. I was mimicking like his modern shit, you know.
That is like like he has way too many eras. What other part would you mimic his blackface shit?
I don't want to mimic the blackface era. You can do that one.
No.
You want to do that one?
I don't.
All right, let's do it on 3. 3,
no.
2. I'm not good.
God, he was definitely like such a bad influence for me as a kid, and I wish I was not exposed to seeing his shit. Like I know that I'm like hypersexualized now because of like what I watched on YouTube. It's like Onision.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up Onision. That's the worst one. Yeah, in my opinion.
It definitely fucked me up and like made me think like, oh, if he's saying like these are valid or this isn't valid, like obviously he has such a high platform and so many people are listening to him that it's like a valid point that he's making, and that isn't attractive, and that is, you know.
Yeah, Onision, whenever he did those comparison like videos where he was
so
just like comparing,
bad.
like asking girls to send in pictures of themselves so he can rate them.
I'm so
like,
glad
that's fucking garbage, dude. That's garbage.
I'm so glad I have like social anxiety when it comes to social media, and I've never ever tried to like
I feel
put
bad
stuff
for
out
any
there.
of the girls that tried to do that
or contacted like huge celebrities or something like that.
The most
so
I've
scary.
contacted was like little drawing channels on YouTube, and I'd send them suggestions. That was it. I was never like, oh my god, notice me, Ray William Johnson. Please, I want you to notice me. Put me in your video.
I was like way too scared to even like comment on my favorite YouTubers' videos because I was like, what if nobody likes this? I don't want to look like a fool in front of that YouTuber I like. He's gonna laugh at my comment because of 0 likes. Like I was so stupid. I still am like that, but like.
I think what's changed about me is that now I don't care. Like when I put down a comment or tweet out something or put something as my caption, I don't really care anymore because like it's stupid. It's stupid to care what you're gonna put down as your caption, right? Or spend so much time on it. Because I used to do the same thing, right?
Okay, my only worry is to be portrayed as something that I don't want to be portrayed as. Like, I'm really scared as coming off as cringy, which could be cringy to some people, right? But that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Why didn't your ass like that?
What?
Huh?
Sorry, I think I'm a little buzzy right now. I'm drinking that beer fast. I'm gonna.
You're also crossed.
Yeah, I had a bowl before this, but like.
We're the type of couple that partakes in being cross most days off that we have together. But it's a nice little pastime, you know, makes media so much more enjoyable. Oh, let's talk about the media that we've watched in this past week or so.
Carl.
We've been watching The Walking Dead.
Binging it. More specifically.
I never thought I'd reach like this point of watching The Walking Dead because like I gave up like on season 3. But now we're watching it. I'm rewatching it. She's watching it for the first time. And it's a lot of fun. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't get what like the criticism is with it dragging on too long. Like I guess if you had to wait a week every single time for a new episode to come out, I'd be really pissed for like a filler episode. But watching it like
sometimes
the whole stories unfold, it feels pretty fluent to me. Yeah, it doesn't feel cut out.
Sometimes the episodes feel like slow, like very slow. They're very different from, you know, regular TV show episodes. But, for the most part, if you just watch it back to back, there really isn't any problem. It's always like, with one slow episode, the next episode's gonna pick up. Like after, there rarely has been a time where it's just like slow on top of slow on top of slow. There's always like a new conflict every single episode. Fucking Carl got stuck down in the well, and the whole gang has to like fucking pull him out.
Yeah, that's always the case with us. Like, we'll be like so bored with it, falling asleep, right? And then something fucking intense happens and it like pulls us in. We watch a whole nother episode. Like, we forget that we were tired. Like, it's
I know it happens to me the most. Like, I wake up and I'm just like, oh fuck, okay, now we gotta watch it.
This man is worse than any father I've ever met.
Shut up.
When it comes to watching TV, he can't stay awake for like 5 minutes.
I'm fucking fine.
The second you turn it off for him, because it's like, oh, he's sleeping. Let me like tuck him in, get him all set for bed. He's like, hey, I'm watching that.
Stop.
I'm fine.
Wow.
One more episode of
Vsauce. Shut up. I need my dose of Vsauce like every fucking week so I can retain like brain structure. What do you watch? Miniature building videos?
Are you gonna make? Why would you? Well, I'm offended. No, I'm not. That's something I like. That's something I enjoy. I'm never going to be ashamed of that.
You're jabbing on me for sleeping sometimes. Hey, we all sleep. We're all human beings.
I'm not saying you don't like these. I don't... Yeah. Kiss. I love you.
No. But Walking Dead is a lot of fun to watch. You and I were both very big fans of the zombie genre.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like definitely my favorite genre is like the end of the world. Especially right now. It helps me feel like our situation isn't that bad.
Yeah, because like other situations are so crazy. Like, remember that one movie, Greenland? That movie was funny as fuck.
Which one was that?
The one where the asteroids fall down and Gerard
Butler and they have to go to Greenland.
Because that's like the only safe area.
I don't even remember that movie, man.
Bro, it's so funny. I think about it all the time. When the first asteroid hits and obliterates the entirety of Florida, that's how I knew it was gonna be a good movie.
I remember like their ending scenes, like their like end of the world scenes that kill people off are really good in that movie.
Yeah, because it's just fucking asteroids. It's so hard to avoid an asteroid when you think about it, because it's so big and like can set people on fire and obliterate people. I wish it was more gory with that, because it's usually like an asteroid hits someone and then they like fly off and they hit the ground. I'm just like, I wish you could see a explosion.
I don't know, man. We've been seeing a lot of blood and gore.
Oh, that's a great segue. A great segue into another Robert Kirkman owned property.
So good.
Invincible. Possible spoiler alerts for Invincible. But before we get into that, Invincible is a great show, kind of playing on the whole comic trope. This kid is born from a superhero father, and he has to learn how to be a superhero with all these like Superman-esque powers. But then like some fuck shit goes down, and it's not as easy as it seems, where it's like saving people from like burning buildings and shit. It's like people fucking die, people get torn limb from limb, and there's a whole mystery at the center of it. Go fucking watch it if you have Prime Video or 123movies.com. just go find your way to watch it, because it's so fucking good.
It's worth it.
Yeah, now spoilers, right?
Are we gonna spoil?
Well, because it's just like the scenes are so fucked. Like, I can't
explain it.
To explain it would be to spoil it, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole setup of it. Like the fucking...
Well, you can just talk about how it's like so bloody and gory, and how it's like almost desensitizing, even though it's a comic. Like, even though it's like animated and not real, it feels like so fucking emotionally
tolling.
Yeah, to watch it, even to like see what the main character is going through. And if you've watched it, we're talking about the subway scene. If you know, you know. Like,
it is fucking disgusting. I think what it is that when we watch like pieces of media, like stories, whether it be live action, animated, or whatever, I think we pull a piece of it out and like try to envision like it in real life and like think of it in real life, like not necessarily saying what would I do in that situation. It's like, what if this was real? Because I find myself like looking at movies like that a lot, like fucking. And a lot of movies play on that, like Jurassic Park, you know, what if we brought back the fucking dinosaurs? Greenland, what if asteroids fell from fucking Earth, you know?
And it's also one of those superhero movies that pays a lot of attention to more so the aftermath of, like, the effects that the superheroes have on, like, the civilians.
Yeah.
Kind of like The Boys did.
Rather than just, like, brushing it
not
off.
like with Marvel, where they kind of just show the action scenes. They never really show, like, oh, there's a bunch of people that hate these superheroes.
And people that fucking die. Like, so many people fucking would die.
I know.
It's disgusting when you really think about it. Oh my god.
You need to plug in that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and we are starting to really love this guy who's created all of it.
Not created all of it.
You know, the author, the writer, you know.
Who are you talking about?
I don't even know his name.
Robert Kirkman?
Yeah, I guess. Walking Dead guy.
Yeah.
We gotta get his comics.
I want to get like those compendiums, those big ass books. Those
I just like getting like the whole collection is super fun. Getting everything.
Yeah. I think what's strange about like movies that are based off like comic book properties, specifically The Walking Dead and Invincible, if you look into them, right, you find that like even when you're thinking like there's no way it could get wilder, you'll read the comics and then suddenly it's just like there's a whole new fucking world that you haven't even like experienced yet when it comes to these like pieces of media. It's like, so it gets even more fucked. Like in Invincible, there's so much fucked up stuff
that they leave out.
Yeah, that they leave out. And honestly, rightfully so, because that's gonna be hard to fucking put into a TV show, like how fucked things are. And it's the same thing with The Walking Dead, right? Yeah, they have a more expansive story in the comics because it's been running since like the fucking 2000s. So obviously there's gonna be some shit in it.
Are the comics still being written today?
I think Walking Dead is done and Invincible is still going on. Right. Just
That's
like
interesting.
it's not written by Robert Kirkman anymore. I don't think so.
So he sold it? Like
Not sold it. It's like a comic property. You know how multiple people can write Spider-Man fucking comic books? Yeah, it's like that. But very good show. Go watch Invincible. Go watch The Walking Dead if you have the time.
It's a lot, but like it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Can we talk about the
like
other
zombies.
reason why we love The Walking Dead?
And Invincible.
Horrible.
How about you take the mic for this one? Here. Just talk.
I don't know if I can.
Claire has got a new boyfriend. She like literally has a new boyfriend and his name is Steven Yeun.
And if you're listening, I live in Toronto, Canada. You can come over here
Don't
whenever
dox
you
us.
want.
Don't dox
Can you
us.
bleep out the my postal code is send me whatever you want.
All right, great.
Your cum, so I can make some.
Stop. Yeah, Steven Yeun
You could
is
take that part out.
No, I'm leaving it in.
You can't leave it in. What
I
if he
will
actually
leave
hears
it.
it?
What if Steven
sound
Yeun
like a
listens to the
thirsty
Cool Kids
little-
podcast?
I would sound like a thirsty little bitch.
Here.
He's married. I respect that, and so am I. I don't need no man. I have my own little man.
I'll make you feel better. I want your cum, Steven. I want all of it. Not just her, me too. I want all of your cum. Steven Yeun's a great guy. He's sexy. He's talented.
I don't think he'd appreciate that, though.
Oh my god, who cares if he fucking...
Because I don't want to give off a bad impression.
Like, he's gonna fucking listen. Like,
I don't care.
Steven Yeun's gonna fucking
What if
listen
somehow
to
it
the
becomes
podcast.
viral or something? It's funny, haha.
It's like, listen to this desperate
Somehow.
bisexual couple beg for Steven Yeun's cum.
It's like fan media has gone too far.
Cancel culture exists, but we won't cancel this. That'd be great.
Could you imagine if, like, you got canceled right before you even, like, became a big star?
That'd suck. I probably wouldn't, though.
You wouldn't. You're a good guy.
Yeah. I also have money and lawyers that can get rid of many, many things.
That is, we don't pretend to be rich. We're not.
I'm pretending to be a piece of shit.
Don't lie. We live in a small-ass condo with 2 other people.
You ever think about conservatives like Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro or, like, you know, those types of thinkers like Mr. Jordan Peterson?
I try not to, but...
If what happens if they get canceled, right? Because so many times they complain about getting canceled and they're not necessarily being canceled, you know? Like, no one's really saying anything for their platform to be turned down. But in a situation where they actually get, like, you know, fucking scrutinized by the media, scrutinized by the news, you know, become literally the faces of never listen to these motherfuckers. You ever think about how they would react? Because, like, I think about it sometimes as a little sadistic thought, you know, just watching racists fall apart in their ideologies and their brand.
But like you've said many times before, when a celebrity is canceled, they're not actually canceled.
I know, we're living in a dream world with this one.
It's so sad, so exhausting these days to wake up every morning and go on TikTok and see the world pretty much ending around you. We're all insignificant. Nothing matters, but at the same time, why not just enjoy it?
That's the most, like, tweetable fucking Facebook-iest shit to say. I saw a great Twitter post that was just like, if you're the type of people that say, oh, we're all just a bunch of meat sacks orbiting around like the empty void of space, I don't care. I'm stealing something from your house. I agree with that. I agree with that little statement there. I think it's just say life is meaningless. Just say that.
Are you gonna steal something from me?
Don't break it down to the
from
chemical
my
level.
house?
Yeah.
What are you gonna steal?
I've stolen a lot of things from your house that you don't know about.
Whoa. It's funny because we live together. Get it, guys?
I stole your toothbrush one time and I used it.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's like I go there in the dark and I accidentally grab the wrong one.
I was lying.
I was not.
You fucking used my toothbrush?
It's not.
Babe.
You spit in my mouth.
That's different.
No, it's not.
That one doesn't have toothpaste on it and little tooth gunk in it.
Ew, no, if anything,
when you brush your
cleaner.
teeth, you're brushing off the little shit fucking particles that are stuck in
Do
between
you know
your teeth,
what
right?
like comes
And
with your spit?
You spit it out and you try to wash it off the toothbrush, but not all of it gets down. It's deep in the bristles.
Yeah,
when I spit in your mouth, there aren't no teeth particles in there.
There's stuff that's left in your mouth in there, though.
Maybe.
I know because I've felt it before, and you
Stop.
spit in my.
Stop.
Am I gonna dox you right now? Where
That's
I like
disgusting.
fucking out you?
What,
for...
like a little piece of spinach?
No, once you fucking spit like a loogie in me.
Shut up! I never did that.
I swear to God,
That's
it was
gross.
huge, and it felt like a booger, and I hated it.
I did not ever do that. Guys,
who do you believe?
Leave it down in the comments below. Who do you believe, Claire or Kiev? Who spit the loogie in one's mouth? Ugh.
Gross.
Spitting's great. Spitting's awesome. When you spit.
Yep.
Oh, you know those rides in
Who
Canada's
created
Wonderland?
that?
What?
Like kink though.
What, spitting?
Spit kink.
Well, it can't have, like, if you're thinking the evolution of kinks and stuff, it can't have gone far off from, like, you know, fucking making out and kissing, right? Because you're swapping spit there. All it needs is a little more nudge for it to evolve into, like, and like spitting in someone's mouth, right? I think that's how it could go. It's all based on like rooting the one next to the other.
I guess one could say that.
I want to bring back burping in each other's mouths.
Gross.
It's not gross.
According to our roommate, it is.
No, it's not. Our roommate.
What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below.
Claire, my love, do you have any
talking points?
Yeah, talking points. You can talk about anything here. You can talk about...
we could talk about a little experience that we just saw today on our walk. Where I embarrassed you.
I do. You always say embarrass. It's just like sometimes you're loud.
To see you like, cringe like that was...
You tell me when we're in public and I'm speaking, right? In a place full of children, you're just like, stop swearing, Kev. You're saying fuck in front of the kids. And then you straight up yelled at the park.
Those kids
at these two
needed
kids
to be sworn at.
Yeah, they need to be yelled at, but they didn't need to be sworn at. And you're like, hey, get the fuck off the bridge.
Okay. Let me tell you the situation so you guys can decide for yourself. Oh my God. We were at the park.
I'm gonna be in the wrong.
Sitting. And there were kids on the frickin'... I'll say frickin' because I won't swear for the frickin' sake of it.
You're an asshole. You're such a dickhead.
And they were on the train tracks, right? And the train was coming, okay? And they got out of the way the split second, right? They were playing chicken, obviously. They were like 11 or 12-year-old boys. They were back on after the train almost hit them. I see that. And I'm like, hey! But like in my mom's scary voice. I would do it right now. Should I do it right now?
It's gonna blow up the mic.
What if I step back?
Okay, fine.
Hey!
That's so loud. That's
do you want me to,
so loud.
I can do it like
don't do it again. Just explain the story.
Okay, anyways, so like that scary voice, right? And I was like, get off the train tracks. Don't you know that place could kill you? What do you guys think you're doing? Like, don't you know anything? I called them idiots because like sometimes you have to scare children. Sometimes you have to like low-key traumatize them, especially when they're doing something fucking stupid. I'm okay with being that adult that will always stay in their brain, that will make it so they never do this again. I'm okay with that. That seems like a fair trade. I'm okay, like, you could say I approached it wrong and I should have been nicer, but maybe that would make it so those boys went back on train tracks.
I'm obviously in the wrong here. It's just like when I hear yelling, I was just like, ah.
I'm just saying, like, they'll at least never do it in front of public again.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's the difference between you and me. Where I'm a very not very confrontational person, but you do have the fucking balls and the gall to confront.
I don't know where it came from.
It could come from anywhere, honestly. Just like a grand knowing of all the things you experienced in life, and you take out of it going like, well, that shit needs to be taught, right? Mm-hmm. I come out of it as like a neutral person, and I'm kind of just like, I'll stay out of it, but I'll watch from afar type deal. Like,
well, I didn't want to see some kids get run over by a fucking train.
See, that's why it's better to be confrontational in that moment. I definitely am a pussy when it comes to that. No, I would say so. It's just...
What are other times
I'm not used to confrontation.
Where my conflict has helped in this situation.
It's helped in this situation. You got us our food one time.
Oh yeah, that was
from
really
Uber
fun.
Eats. She fucking yelled at this car driving down the street because he passed by our house and was about to end the fucking like order pretty much because he was just about to turn around and leave. So Claire fucking jumped out of the house and was like running down the street going, hey, hey! And then the dude stopped and you said did he look scared?
Yeah, he looked really scared. He was just like, I was
But we got to eat that night.
Yeah.
Good
and
Wendy's.
It was a lot of food. Like,
yeah,
it was like $50 worth of food. I wouldn't have just done that for like a McFlurry or something.
No way. But like at this, it's good. It's good. You got us our food. You got our bellies fed that one night. The only type of confrontation has been like very subtle confrontation. You know, just like debating with someone in the class type deal. Yeah. Or like, using my adult voice almost when it comes to dealing with little kids. But I never was like, hey, fuck off, you fucking.
I didn't say that.
I know. I'm not saying it like that's how confrontational people are. I'm just saying like my idea of like confronting someone would probably revolve around me going like, hey, fuck off, you fucking dick. You know. Maybe
you just have to view it in a different approach then.
I do. I definitely do. Because I gotta stand up for myself. Especially at Starbucks. Holy fuck. Oh my god. I need to start just being like laying down the law with some of these fucking
That could get you fired
idiots.
though. And I think that's part of the reason why like normal service jobs, like they piss me the fuck off because like you can't just tell it as it is, and when you do, you get punished for it, and like that feels like oppression to me. Because like you're supposed to put up with so much bullshit, and that's not fair. Like people should be nicer to service industry people, but like they aren't.
Yeah.
And that's like a known fact. But like
because they're part of the service industry, you know.
Yeah, they're weaker, they're lesser. And if you're listening to this right now and you think that, fuck you. Generally, like, you're a piece of trash. Like, go wash your mouth out with soap. And
how did your fucking home get built? How did your food get made? You know, it's all because of the service people. How'd you get your fucking morning coffee? Is because of people like me.
But that's literally like they're like, I deserve that. These people deserve to serve me.
I paid $6 for this. I need to get exactly what I want. It's like you also need to not be a dick.
Yeah.
No one ever said that like you're paying good money for your fucking food. Yeah, that's fine. Just be fucking nice about it. Don't be such a cock where you have to be like, it's not up to my standards. We'll remake your fucking drink. We'll remake your fucking food. We'll give you new fucking grocery items. Just don't be a dick. Right?
Yeah, literally. I don't get people that just go out and decide I'm gonna make someone's day worse today or something like that, you know, or like they just choose to be an asshole when that's not needed.
And if I try to like talk back, I know for a fact I'm gonna get sent up to the office and they're gonna be like, "Why'd you talk to the customer that way?" It's like it makes me scared for if there's ever a situation where someone's like clearly in the fucking wrong, like saying something fucking racist. Right.
At that point,
and if I were to try and like cut into that and they're just like, listen, racism is bad. But also the customers are very important. Like I would hate to hear that point, type of like bullshit.
The only thing you can really do to like protect yourself is like record yourself.
Yeah.
In the interaction so that they can see that like the customer was in the wrong in case like, because your company will try to silence you 100%. Like, I don't trust Longos. Those Italian little bitches. Or who are they with now? Sobeys?
Yeah. Fucking the Longo Sobeys merger.
If you're not Canadian, you have no idea what we're talking about. These are all grocery stores. It's super interesting stuff.
I think what it is that it applies to all grocery stores, right? Like No Frills, Sobeys, Longos, Walmart, Costco. All those stores, they have a level to them where like you need to treat the customer with respect even if they don't, right? Like the one thing you're always taught to do during a situation where a customer is being difficult is to de-escalate the situation, right? But they never really teach you, like, what if a situation just goes real fucking out of hand? They'll always be like, oh, I'll call a manager. It's like, what if there's no fucking manager available? What if you're just stuck one-on-one with this motherfucker? They never really teach anything about that. They're always just be like, de-escalate this situation, de-escalate. It's like, what if the fucking guy's trying to punch me? What if this dude's trying to, like, stab me and my family and my friend Mike, you know?
And no one really talks about, like, the fear that you have in that moment of, like, when a customer comes in and decides to be, like, almost malicious in their behavior towards you. Because it's very effective. It affects your, like, performance, I think. And that can also affect their reaction. And if it's bad, that can also affect, like,
everything just stacks on top of each other to a point where it's like, it's going to be a shitstorm mountain at the end if you're trying to deal with this fucking situation. But, what am I to do?
I used to work at this place called San Francesco Foods, and most times they would leave me alone. Like, I was the only one working that entire shop when I was, like, 16, 17. Not even, like, 18 yet. And, so many scary situations where people were being assholes to me, and like I didn't know how to de-escalate it. I was like on my own, and that on its like, you just need to have more empathy, I think, for like service people. People don't view them as humans. They view them as like
lessers.
Yeah, and it sucks because like most people that are in that position, they're students or they're people who are in a hard place that need extra empathy.
People with jobs just like the other person buying the fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like they should view the working class should view the working class as the working class. There shouldn't be like an upper echelon of it. It should just be like, we're all here trying to make a fucking buck.
You know what it is?
Let's not be dicks.
It's definitely like the billionaires like setting a plan that makes it so that we're always fighting one another so we don't gang up and get them. Right? Because like that's what keeps us weak, is that like we're so divided between like small paychecks. Like, oh, you make $20? I make $25. Like, whoa. Okay.
That's why the whole minimum wage debate in like North America specifically, that's like, it's such a big conversation because there's so many people that have already been earning money for a very long amount of time that are complaining about people that are essentially their fucking kids, right? People that are younger than them, the people that are setting up the new fucking like future, the generation, right? They're complaining. It's like, why the fuck are they getting money, right?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you already charge us for fucking college. You already charge us for fucking like living and housing and stuff like that. We do need a fucking extra paycheck. We need a bump up because fuck, we're not gonna survive off $12 fucking dollars and some change. We're gonna survive off fucking higher wages.
I watched a really interesting video where the man actually did the math and followed the graph with so before I forget if it was Nixon or Reagan that changed the minimum wage, like your paycheck went up with like the amount of work that you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Basically. And that was going on since like the whole thing was set up in the 1800s until he came into office. And then it started to stay the same while the productivity and the amount of work you were doing was increasing. Right? So even though we're doing more and we should be
compensated for
it,
we
aren't getting compensated for it because that's just the norm now. People don't do that anymore.
Which is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
In my opinion. Like, fuck, man. I can think of a handful of students who are working right now that can't even make, like, their tuition payments or their rent payments, like, on time.
Yeah, literally.
Like, I don't think these old fucking people can understand that, like, it's gonna fuck up everything. If you're stuck with one small minimum wage, right, it's gonna fuck up so much if it's like low. You're causing like these people to not pay their rent on time, not pay their bills on time, not do like literally anything, and that's gonna look bad on their part. And then the same old people will be like, look at the young people, they're slacking off, they're not fucking doing anything, you know, they're not doing anything with their lives. It's like, because you fucked up our jobs. You literally made it so that no matter how much we work, we will never make our ends meet.
Yeah.
Right? And your constant fucking explanation to it is like, there should be a better education system with less in it. You know, it's like less about all this stuff and more about this stuff, how to live a life. And it's just like, you're fucking not doing that. You're literally not. You're fucking up a bunch of kids' lives over this shit. And it's literally like, ugh, it's dummy. It's dummy fucking stupid. That's what it is.
Definitely.
I'm gonna turn on this.
I think the important thing to notice or like mention is that like, although the studies that I like looked at or whatever were from the States, it's like similar to Canada, like very much so, even though they're kind of like in a worse place than us. They're still trying to fight to get like a $15 minimum wage or like a $14, like what we have right now. When in reality, that's not even what you should be fighting for. It should be more than that. It should be like $21 or $27 if you actually went with the graph of like following what I was saying before, right?
But a $21 minimum wage would help a lot. you know.
It would, but that's not even like enough.
Yeah, it's not. Nothing will ever be enough because the systems in place are making it so that everything's a lot more expensive. Everything's riding on a lot more money. You know, that's not gonna change, and they're refusing to change everything else. So only like the rich people would be able to live like in this world, and then the lower class people get the fuck out. Right? Yeah, like literally get out. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. And the fact that this even has to be a debate just shows we've fallen off a little bit, you know?
Fallen off our wagon. Are we ever on our wagon though?
That's a good point. I hope we have enough money for our kids to get fucking toys and shit.
That's like the scary thing, like with kids and that, right? Like I can't ever imagine ourselves even ever really planning on having a kid or being financially ready and being like, let's have a kid. I feel like it's gonna be an accident, 100%. We could be pregnant right now, but
sorry, Mom, if you're listening. We're rolling the dice a little bit. God, she'd fucking smack me. She would hit me over the fucking head if I'm just like, sorry, Mom, we're rolling the dice with this one. You're gonna be a grandma, maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Condoms break.
Maybe a baby.
Maybe a baby.
Maybe a baby. God.
Blame it on my doctor. She has not sent through my birth control.
Yo, shouts out to Claire's doctor. And by shouts out, I mean shut the fuck up, Claire's doctor, and answer fucking calls, please.
Priority sequence my ass. I get that it's COVID, but I don't want to have a child.
Yeah, that would suck. But
we could not afford it right now.
Oh, God, no.
Like, we're kids.
What am I I can't sell my MF Doom vinyl.
No.
For a little kid? Fuck that. I need beer money.
Sell like everything. Oh yeah, we have to stop spending money on like paraphernalia.
But I can't give up on Pabst Blue Ribbon with such a fine taste and an American-made classic.
If you're listening, we could really use a sponsor. We might need a new.
I would love a sponsor by PBR
or like any beer company, but like you have to be a huge star to get sponsored by like a beer company. Eh?
Yeah. And with a name like Cool Kids, I don't think they'd want to fucking
it doesn't
sponsor.
Fit with our.
It's like, fuck you. The kids are probably drinking your beer anyways.
It's the cheapest one out there.
I don't know why these alcohol cigarette companies are wasting their time on adults when kids are the ones they should be advertising to. Let's make it a thing. Little Johnny wants a Juul. Give it to him.
No.
Little Johnny wants mint.
See, they actually went through a problem where they were advertising to kids.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's a fucking lie. There's no way that would actually happen.
If you're under the age of 19, don't even try to pick this up. It will shock you.
What's inside this contraption will shock you. You ever see those videos of like this dude simulates what like 100 packs of cigarettes can do to your lungs by filling up a bottle with cotton balls and then running like a fucking air blower inside and putting on suck, and it just sucks into cigarette smoke, and you see all the tar and the grossness on the cotton balls, and then like at the same time you watch that and you're like, fuck, I want to hit my vape right now and just smoke a cigarette.
I've definitely seen a video where it's like scientific proof that vapes are not as bad because they've used the same method that you're talking about and it doesn't come out dirty.
Yeah, it comes out like yellow. But piss yellow.
But just because it's cleaner does not mean that it's like good for your body. Like we're we at least if you're doing something bad, admit to it.
Exactly. You want to know a good example of that? Rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is clear and it's clean. In fact, no germs can ever live on it. But if you try to drink that motherfucker, chances are you're going to get your stomach pumped.
I don't think that's a good example.
It's the same thing.
No,
it's the same thing.
I think that's a little different. Just a little.
It's clean. You try to eat it, you know, or you see a steak. You see a tasty fucking morsel of a steak. But, Lil, did you know that steak is glazed with rat poison? It looks good. It looks tasty. You take a bite, you're dead.
Oh, speaking of steaks, I saw that Costco has those really expensive Japanese steaks that cost like...
Oh, the Wagyu steaks?
Yeah, they cost like $100.
Those
like
are fucking... Those scare me. As someone...
Cool.
Yeah.
Imagine just buying something that expensive to eat.
As someone that likes cooking, that scares me. I feel like I mess up with things that cost like over $20, right? Like I don't want to mess up with that shit. But if I got a $250 square cube of steak, bro, I wouldn't even know how to fucking cook it. No amount of videos would ever teach me how to cook it. You know, I feel like it would come up medium well, and then I'd be like, oh God, I fucked up.
Definitely. So when it comes to money, what do you feel like not guilty on spending a lot on?
Food.
Food, really? So like that's steak, even though you just said you were nervous.
Okay, fine. Food, in a sense, where it's just like, you know, sometimes I'll go grocery shopping and I'll buy myself a treat, right? I feel guilt sometimes when buying food. Like I'm buying junk food and I'm just like, I shouldn't be buying this, right? But I would say I feel less guilty with food than any other purchases like I've made in my life, right?
Really?
Like even with stuff like vinyls and stuff like that.
What about like useful things?
Useful things? What,
Yeah.
like forks, spoons?
Well, like, you know, just like things you need, like this microphone or purchases that were necessary for something that you needed to do.
I would say that it takes a little bit to try and get over my guilt of like trying to buy it. Like you know me, I'm a very cautious shopper when it comes to buying things. I barely buy things, right? I'm very cautious when it comes to like what I spend my money on. So buying this mic and buying my laptop or my camera and the shit that goes along with it, I have trouble trying to like just buy it immediately. I just kind of want to think about what I'm buying. I want to fucking, you know, make sure this is the best I can get for my money, you know, but not spending too much money, but not spending too little money. Yeah, it's a very stupid process that I have to go through. But I would say for sure that food is like the least guilt-ridden thing that I buy, that I spend money on.
Mine would be plushies.
You got your whole little gang. You set
Not
up your little
even.
gang around behind us. Let's. Yeah, you got Sanrio plushies. You got
Sanrio Squishmallow.
yeah, Squishmallow. Squishmallows are the huge thing right now. I
All
don't.
mine are outside in the living room. That's where most of the other plushies are too.
Mm-hmm.
But
You got special ones from like Indigo, or whatever, a thrift store. You got a little Care Bear.
I love this one. I like plushies that I see on reselling websites for a lot of money make me feel way better, and especially if I did not spend a lot on them.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, I got him for like $2, $3. See him for $30 online, makes me so proud.
Fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes.
Will I ever sell him?
No. I would love like a whole bag of
Or
stuffies
this
to
little
keep.
buddy, I got him for $5 at like one of those liquidation stores. Isn't that awesome?
Shouts out to liquidation stores.
They're pretty
they,
amazing.
They keep the world going round.
They're like where we used to live. All of the stores were around there were just
Liquidation
liquidation
stores.
And they were pretty lit, man. Like it was stuff from Amazon that got sent back,
Yeah.
or it was stuff from Walmart that didn't sell.
Mhm.
It was just anything that you could imagine was there, but also nothing was there.
It's good. It's great shit. I would
It's
say so.
amazing. It's like the auctions. Okay, hear me out. Great idea. There are these things called online auctions that you can go and look at items online, right? And auction them off, or you can buy them from these auctions. You guys all. They're an online auction.
You're
But
right.
I would love to make a fucking series where it's like going through and commenting on all these auction like items, because I just think that there's like the coolest shit you can find at auctions. I once found like a most realistic looking mushroom lamp That was so cool.
It was a beautiful lamp.
It was so cool.
I have to join you on that.
It was going for like $40 though.
It literally looked like fairies could live on that fucking lamp.
We almost bought a van off of auction.
Oh.
For like, it was a Volkswagen van, you know, from like the 70s or 60s, and it was like teal green. It was beautiful.
We were gonna do van life.
Can
you think about that? We were gonna do van life. That would have been so fun.
I'm glad we didn't with the winter that we had.
I guess. But at the same time, bro, that would have been so much fun to have a little van, smoke weed in it.
Kind of like being homeless though.
I get. Well, what's wrong with that?
I don't know, I've already done that, and I don't really want to do that again.
You get to go around. You know, if you have a stable amount of income, it's not that bad. And a comfy enough van, it's not that bad.
But it also segues into another little talking point that I wanted to get to.
All right.
Which is my fucking frustration when rich people love to portray themselves as poor. That is so shitty, man. It's like, come on. Where is the aesthetic? I don't get it.
It's just like for fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that
Literally
bothers you the most. It's like when they do it for fun, like on TV and media.
And this
right?
fan life kind of portrays that a bit. Like, the most people that do that successfully or, like, do that well, it's because you have money. It's because you are able to go to, like, your parents' house and sleep there some nights. It's because, like, you don't really need to have a job. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're a content creator that's doing van life.
Yeah.
Although they do, like, good on them, you know, for making a living out of, like, doing it.
Content creator style, but yeah, there's a lot of... It seems like... It feels like one of those trends that can only be accomplished with white privilege, you know?
I get that.
And I know that... Or, like, privilege just in general. Like, you aren't going to be out here doing van life, or like glamour like glamping, camping in style, if you don't have like a bunch of money in your bank account, you know? Like, if you are living in your van and you don't have a bunch of money, that suddenly looks a lot different for you.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a whole different like viewpoint that people look at it.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
a
like,
stigma that comes with it. It's like suddenly it's
so you're
not
living
cute.
in your van?
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, you're living in a van.
I love that.
Like, that's so cute. That's so sweet.
No, it's so like strange.
Yeah, and your van has to look super cool too.
Yeah, your van
right?
has to look super cute, because if you're not super cute and you didn't look like you just like fucking IKEA threw up inside your van, then...
It has to have like a TV and fucking
and fairy
like, nice
lights.
bedding.
And, yeah, a bed.
And a bed. But it's just like... yeah, I get that. Especially if it's like with people that mostly live in the city that would do stuff like that, right? And only go off to the outskirts. There are people that live out in the wilderness, in the boonies, and they're just like living in a van and
Like
they're living it up.
Yeah.
You know?
I see a lot of people on TikTok on the like poorer end of things, kids our age trying to do van life, right? And that's kind of what inspired me. And then I realized that like it's just another version of poverty, but just like done with a cute look of it.
Like an aesthetic.
Yeah, it's like an aesthetic attached to it.
Aesthetic, poverty aesthetic.
Yeah, because if you're in your fucking Honda Civic, suddenly it's not as cute, you know?
Yeah, but if you're in an old Volkswagen Beetle van,
yeah,
then you're just like, oh wow, this dude's super cool.
Yeah.
Which
but it would have been
sucks.
cool to own that.
It would have been cool. I think what it would be for us is that if we have a place that we live in, you know, regularly, and then we have a van that we could also live in.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. It's
Maybe
like having a camper van, like an RV.
We had like a little small home and then like a camper van too. That'd be cute.
Yeah. I would love a Winnebago.
There's definitely always like a life that you could look at where you restart and run away from everything, but it seems like unachievable, right?
I think for the most part it could be achievable. Like there are certain ways of living that you need to accustom yourself to, but for the most part, you know, people have managed to do it. People have managed to live off in the wilderness and escape from everything. And fucking props to them, because they're living a good life.
Cool, yeah.
You know, they're living a life that's true to them, you know, that they would appreciate and even if most people wouldn't appreciate it, because it's like it's not put in the lens of, oh, here's something cute attached with it, you know, I have a cool little fucking hula girl on my little thingy.
Definitely.
On my van type deal. It's like, nah, man, I keep my food over here, I keep my bed over there, and I just travel around. I live in the woods, you know.
Yeah, it definitely is like kind of whimsical and cool and cute.
It's invigorating.
But there's always a reality to that situation, you know, and so many people don't talk about that reality. But yeah, going back to like the rich making being poor an aesthetic, I think I saw another interesting video on TikTok. I forgot who the creator was, but she was talking about how what they like is the product that comes out of like being in poverty, not the process of it. Because there's a lot of artists that were like, you think of great creators like Jean
Basquiat.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. It's like people that grew up in poverty, grew up in different situations, and the product that they create.
Yeah, they have that like experience to create that product, and then these rich kids see that product, they like that product, and then they just recreate that product.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the same because they never had to go through those situations. They never had to like experience those types of things, which, like you would say you critique like Shameless about, like.
Yeah, it's
the TV
strange
show.
just to watch. That's a very strange TV show for me. I'm still making it through the early seasons, which are difficult because they were done in like mid-2000s or whatever, when TV was not the same as TV is now today. More jokes get passed, and it's like, I don't know, I just can't watch it without like viewing it in the lens of criticism, right? And it's funny. I love the show, especially with like some of the characters like Kevin and his girlfriend. They're so cute. But definitely like go around with male rape jokes way too much, and I know that's just a thing that was like way more common in the mid-2000s and early 2000s. But it makes me uncomfortable, you know? Or like just knowing that they're rich celebrities, right? Portraying people that were dirt poor, and they bring it up a lot, like, oh, you like being rich, but you also like pretending like you're poor in the show, right? Like they bring up this same problem, but like they don't see the irony that they're almost getting entertainment from these horrible situations that people are going through in poverty.
Yeah. It's a very good critique of the show that you've created.
It's still like the weirdest critique that you've ever heard.
Yeah, but would you find it different if you found out that the writing room was comprised of people that have been through those situations?
Is it?
Well, like, I don't know. But would it be any different?
If it was like the writing room and the creators? Partly, yes, because that's more so like you're telling the story, right? But I don't really know that situation. I'd have to do my research in it.
Yeah. But like it's a good critique of the show, right? Because it definitely does exist where it's like people's misfortune is another person's like entertainment, right? There are shows that do that, but they do it to like a ridiculous extent to the point where it's just like, no, there's no way. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. Right? Their situations are so like utmostly fucked and so like garbage that there's no actual real way that these things. Okay, yeah, just 2 seconds. There's no way that like, you know, these situations could fucking happen, right? But Shameless, I can tell, like, does it in a very different way where they're trying to make it look a bit more grounded in reality.
It almost
and more
feels
based in, like, society.
Do you know what it feels like to me? It feels like a caricature of poverty or, like, of poverty situations. Because obviously, like, none of that would actually all happen to one family. But they take, like, a bunch of different stories and a bunch of different extremes and they make it, like, over the top and silly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just kind of strange.
It is
just
strange.
Interesting.
But I think analyzing media like TV shows and movies like that is very important.
I know you get upset with me though. I do it a lot.
No, I don't get upset. Like what it is, it's just that it's a new opinion that I've heard because I'm more so surrounded by people that judge media based on like the story that it's showing like at that point in time, not really focused on the societal context of it or like the bigger context and the effect that surrounds it. I'm more so like when I watch a movie, I'm just like, I'm taking in the story, I'm thinking of the story, you know, just like based on that. Your critiques come at a different like way that I've never like, you know,
looked at before,
which is why it's interesting.
Yeah.
And why I would never be fucking annoyed. Like that is the most stupid fucking. This goes out to film majors and fucking like these media majors, right? If you have the audacity to go at someone's throat for having a certain opinion based on like a movie and like how it can be bad or good or whatever, go fuck yourself if you get upset over that, because that's what media is. You have to take different fucking things out of it. You can't just be like, oh, this is you have to only view it through the lens of the story, right? You can be used to looking at it through the lens of the story, right? But you also have to take into account that there's a lot of different things that people can react to in media. And you got to be fucking respectful of that. Never get upset if someone's just like, oh, you know, Fight Club's a bit of a dude bro-y movie, right? Because all these dude bros always talk about it, and it's kind of like, you know, like heightening up toxic masculinity type stuff, right? If you're the type of person to look at that thing and go like, bro, it's just a fucking movie, like the story is what counts, you know, fucking like.
Totally disregard that opinion and that topic.
Yeah. Don't disregard it. Engage with it. You know, ask your questions. Why? Like, why would you think that's like the opinion that you have? Why would you have that take? You know, and what certain other pieces of media like can you reference that act like, you know, act within the same way? Don't just be a dick and be like, this fucking person totally missed the point of Fight Club because they didn't pay attention to the story. It's just like, nah, man. It's like there's a whole different lens of opinions that go towards media and media creation. You know, don't be a dick. That's the moral of this podcast.
Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Kindness spreads.
Oh.
That was cuter when I saw like a little kid say it.
I feel like fucking something. I feel like fucking something.
No.
You know that TikTok audio?
Who doesn't know that TikTok audio?
I know that TikTok audio.
Mainstream TikTok audio.
I feel like fucking something. Is that like the actual thing? Where they're just like, I feel like fucking something.
I'm not sure. Like,
it sounds like it.
How many TikTok sounds like do you actually go and find like the actual music from it? Would you say on average?
On average?
What if it's 80-20?
80-20?
Remember that?
80%. Oh yeah, 80% of the TikToks and
then 20% you look up.
That's a for anyone who doesn't know the 80-20 rule. Watch Vsauce. I think it's the one about numbers.
I'm like really obsessed with it lately. I can't stop thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically the whole outline is like the law of 80-20 like can be found everywhere. Like just this number ratio of 80% of something plus 20% of something. So like it could be something like 80% of people 80% of people in America own a TV, 20% don't, you know, that type of shit. But like it appears everywhere, like in fucking literature.
It's like so often that it cannot be a coincidence, you know. It's kind of one of those phenomenons like the
Fibonacci sequence, you know.
Rule of thirds. We're looking at it right now on the camera thing. It's insane.
It's not that insane.
I think about it a lot, like ever since that one TV show, Touch.
Oh my god, I love that fucking
so good.
TV
we
show.
should rewatch that.
I would love to rewatch
together.
Touch.
I haven't watched
Touch
it
is
since
so good.
I was like in elementary school, I think. Like I was literally so young when it came out, and I watched it when it came out.
It was so cool.
It was really
how
cool.
like everything's like connected in a pattern.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was really cool, and that like the people who are unable able to speak, and just because they're nonverbal doesn't mean that they're stupid. It might just mean that they're like communicating in a different way. It's like really cool.
And in reality, they're like super duper smart.
Yeah, I
it's
love
cool
that.
As fuck.
It's like
I love it. But yeah.
Cool concept, great show.
You said you wanted to talk about
I wanted
Marvel.
to continue on the whole my different takeaway from media.
Yeah, go off on it, baby.
I will go off. Well, first I wanted to touch on how what you take away from media really more reflects on the person that you are, rather than like the media itself. Because with you, it shows how you look at like what it takes to put into the media, like all the behind the scenes. You really go and research on like the effects, and you've gotten it so I do it too, like and notice things more, right? And I think that adds more to the experience of like viewing a movie. At least it makes me more enjoyable with it. This guy knows everything. It's insane. We'll be watching a show or a movie. He'll be like, that guy? That's the voice actor for Phineas and Ferb. True story right there.
It's out of habit, honestly. It's just like...
knows everything.
I just like finding out about things, about how things are made. I know part of it is like ruining the movie magic to some people, but in a sense, it gives me more like movie magic feels to go like, oh, wow, so this is how they went about making this. That's like fucking pure magic to me.
I think we're more on the outskirts. Like we look at the media separate, like separate from the media itself, you know, almost. And I think that's interesting because like I like it to look at the way it affects the society around it without even like subconsciously, right? Like people watch this and take it and they don't even really think about what it's doing to them, but I like to think about that because it's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And
you're very much like a person that likes to look out at people and be like, oh, like that person has a life.
Yeah.
You know, those people have a life. Like we live on like one of the top floors of our building, and we get a front view seat of like everyone out in the windows, right? And we kind of just like stalk and peer into people and just go like, oh man, that person has a life. And it's very interesting. Yeah. You get affected by it a lot more.
I do everywhere. Like I don't find my like that's what takes up most of my brain most of the time is thinking about how like everyone else thinks. It's crazy to me, and it's like such this like unreal thing, and I want to grasp it. I want to like understand it and like know what that person is thinking and know what they're going through, but like I know that I'll never be able to. And that's what's wild to me, the fact that like there are millions
so many
of
people's lives are going to be a mystery almost. Yeah everyone's
a mystery, and it's like I just want to solve them, but like you can't.
It's cool though.
It is
sometimes you get the chance to solve people's like life mystery, you know, like when you become friends with someone. That's like an example of you going into someone's life and going like, so what makes you crack, you know, what's going on with you? How'd you come about like living in the present time right now?
Now throw some paranoia in with that wanting to solve mysteries, and you got perfect nutcase.
You're not a nutcase.
Sometimes
we're nutcases in our own right. Maybe.
Stare at men on the subway and I'll be like, what if they've like killed people? You know? Maybe that's just me like watching too many true crime podcasts too.
It'd be interesting if you could find out though.
Yeah.
Ever want omniscient powers? See like what people think?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's like my one thing that I've always wanted when it comes to a superpower. It started with
scary.
Like an obsession of wanting to know what people thought of me. But now I just want to know like random thoughts more so.
I want to know what people are thinking and how people think. Because I saw a very interesting TikTok by this one very famous TikTok creator by the name of Soupy Time. And she was explaining how the way that she thinks is different from other people, but belongs in its own category of the way these people think, where they don't think of things like literary, like verbally, like when they read a sentence, right, in their head, it's not them going like, the quick brown fox jumped over the hole, like type deal. It's more so like they think in like a feeling, which is such a weird concept to grasp. But like the way they said it, it's like it's not them hearing the words in their head. It's more so like a right, like they're reading it like that. They can still understand it, right, but they can feel the words rather than, you know.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be an emotional feeling. It's more so just like
knowing it and feeling it.
Yeah, knowing it and feeling it. Or it's like that interesting thought about babies. They don't think in words because they don't know words yet. Like they think in like visual thoughts, right?
I saw that video. It was so cool. It's like they did a test where they took children and they had like colors or whatever, right? And they had the kids like show a colored ball out of a bunch. And then when they came back later, there were kids of a group that knew how to speak and there were kids that didn't know how to speak. And when they asked them like, oh, like go find the color, right? Do you remember what color it was? The kids that didn't know how to speak still retained that memory and still was able to find that color. But the kids that like knew how to speak, they forgot about that memory completely. So it's like once you remember things, you forget about how you used to remember in nonverbal manner.
That's fucking crazy to think about. So
once you know how to, once you start remembering things in a verbal way, you cannot like go back to the way that. But I guess maybe some people do retain that.
Well, yeah.
I didn't even know that like existed until you started talking about that. It's really cool.
I think what it is just that these people, they get more used to thinking like that, so they retain that way of thinking rather than adopting like a new way of like thinking, like the most common way most people think, or it's like verbally, right, in their head. But it's very interesting, you know. I would like to see any other different ways of thinking that people could have.
Like how, I forget if it's like how deaf people, they don't think in verbal ways. They like, like it's more visual and it's more like they are able to sign in their head.
Yeah.
That's really cool to me.
That's fucking cool. We're all so different, man. We're all different people living different lives. And it's fucking bonkers, dude.
So bonkers.
This is my Joe Rogan moment. This is my ape brain going off. Going like,
I don't even get that.
Fucking.
Fully.
There's some people that will get it.
Okay.
Fuck Joe Rogan.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He's fine. He's just fucking stupid. And there's a lot of stupid people in the world. What?
I said we look kind of like alcoholics right now. No one can see it, but we have like four empty
we
beer
have
cans.
8 beer cans strained across the room, and just right behind you guys, there's a big ass wine stain on the wall.
No, there isn't.
There's a big wine stain, a broken
there's
wine
a
bottle.
Behind you. No,
there's a bottle of whiskey just right behind me that I'm gonna intercut between footage of me drinking.
Mostly
because we're fucking alcoholics.
No, it's mostly Kiev's. He just forgets to throw them out afterwards.
Oh.
One on our desk.
Okay, fine. No, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay.
I love you.
Just your boyfriend. It's all. It's okay. Yeah, man. Fucking Marvel. We didn't even talk about the Marvel movies, did we?
Oh, the Marvel aspect of that. No, we haven't. We recently just finished watching Endgame, or like all of them.
We watched all of the fucking Marvel movies. We had a whole Marvel movie marathon.
Well, now I'm educated. But when they had all like the girls team up and fight
in Endgame,
yeah, that was so cringy and on the nose and like very blatantly girl power, girls get it done. I think the boys did a very much better job at that because it was like irony, but also still showing girls get it done.
Yeah, I think what it is, the difference between, for anyone who hasn't watched The Boys, go watch The Boys.
Go watch it.
But
really good.
There's a specific scene in The Boys where the female superheroes in the show absolutely beat the living fuck out of like one of the villains in the show. And to contrast that, there's a scene in Endgame where all of the female superheroes team up and they start hauling ass and they start like, saving the day, right? And there's very much a clear difference between those two scenes. One is what Claire said, very preachy, very much like made to pander to like, the girl power movement, which was popular in media at the time to be like, we got badass women, right? We got badass women and we're not afraid to show it, right?
Yeah.
Well, The Boys was more so playing on that idea, going like, oh, look, it's another girl power scene, but more so like it was a lot more real because it wasn't just like a setup, like they set up so that all the females will get like their own like, shot of them doing it. It straight up is purely situational. Like it just so happens that all three of them were there and they're all very fucking powerful and they start beating the fuck out of everyone. The Endgame one was more so it felt like fucking planned. It's just like, don't worry, we got him covered. Girls, let's go. Like it was it very much felt like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very good critique of that scene. Because when I watched it in theaters, I thought it was like, yeah, it was cool. Right?
The boys like
it was
played
like
out
stacked on top of each other with a bunch of other scenes, right? So it made it slip my mind more. But looking into it more, I can be like, yeah, there's a problem. There's a bit of a problem with showing things like that,
It's not so much a problem, I wouldn't say. It's just like an annoyance.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't harm anyone to show that. I'm sure it even empowers young women, like young girls, right? To see all those superheroes up there on the screen fighting off the bad guys. And that's really what it is about in the end of the day. But just like knowing there's better ways to do it.
Yeah.
Knowing that the media has done it before, like there's other media.
It's such a trope to do it, right? And when you see it played out over and over again, you risk the idea that it's going to be more, like
stereotypical and like
less effective as media goes on. Like it's very much annoying to see. It's the same thing when you see tropes being played out in movies and TV shows. Like you start getting tired of it, all these different types of subplots, like fucking the love triangle. When you see all of this shit start going over and over again, there's a point in time where you're gonna be like, when the fuck will they stop this, right, and try something new?
Yeah. And I just feel like the Marvel movies are just very mainstream and commercialized to the point where they're just made to sell. Right? And they have their specific golden characters. Right? Now they're pushing for a more diverse character line in that, right? But we're still not seeing that fully.
Yeah.
Like when you go into like the Miniso Marvel section, you're not gonna see like a Wakanda towel. It's gonna be Captain America or Hulk.
Or Captain Marvel and stuff like that. I think the Marvel movies are just pure fucking entertainment juice. It's like it's the bang energy drink of like all entertainment. It's just so fucking chock full of all this shit, right? And it really only is specifically the Marvel like entertainment like franchise, right? The Marvel comics have existed for years and years. Those were built to really just sell stories and tell stories and stuff like that. The Marvel movies are more so now built on like a selling point because they do make a shit ton of money. I don't think anyone can argue that they make a shit ton of money, and that's what affects future projects going on.
Yeah.
They've only ever strayed away and done some more obscure shit like with Guardians of the Galaxy,
But even then, it's Ant-Man. Safe. It's very safe.
Yeah, it's very fucking safe. Like, they're good. They're, like, my favorites
they're awesome.
out of the
I
things.
love them, yeah.
Right? But
we're not saying, like, any of these movies are bad. We love the Marvel movies.
Yeah, but there's no denying that these things are really made to sell, right? Yeah. Like, for instance, Groot... The little tree
love him,
dude.
Though.
Everyone,
He's my favorite.
Yeah, but he was treated so that they could like sell him in the little potted plant that dances around, or a little Groot stuffy, you know, like they have existed for years in the comics. No one has said shit. No one has made shit with them. They just enjoyed the stories like attached with the character, right? Now that you have a movie, you can build that fan base and sell it to more people. Like the biggest what's it called, exhibition that happens every year is D23, which is Disney outlining all of their new shit that's coming out. You know, all the Marvel shit, all the ABC shit, all the Fox shit.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Right? It's a huge exhibition. And like you can tell it's just a big ass pitch meeting. It's a pitch meeting for advertisers. It's a big pitch meeting for like people that watch those movies, consumers, to go and watch these movies and watch out for like the things to come, you know. And it's made to sell merchandise and all this different types of media. That's what Marvel is. They don't make bad movies. They just make movies that make money. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just that it can show through sometimes with the media that they pump out when it's just redundant and basic and safe.
Yeah, it does feel very safe because it's not like they would have came out with like this new movie that they're coming out with right now, what's it called again?
What?
Like the new one that's coming out, the Asian one, like...
Oh, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I think...
Like, I feel like 10 years ago, like, they would have never even, like, pitched this.
No.
But now, because it's, like, popular, and they can market off of it, and they can grow popularity more from this, like, of course they're gonna premiere a movie like this. And it's not bad. It's not bad that they're doing it.
I think awesome. Like what it is just that there purely was no entertainment focus in the beginning, right? The reason why they wouldn't touch stories like Guardians of the Galaxy or Shang-Chi is because the audience for it wasn't strong enough. Mm-hmm. What they've done is that they've built a universe that they now have these people that are hooked on it like fishes, and just drag them along and be like, oh, so you like that movie? Well, wait until you see this movie. Mm-hmm. And then that's what gets them excited. And the people that were already there from the start that have always wanted to see adaptations of those like comics, they're now more excited than ever because they're just like, finally, we're getting the fucking movie that I've always wanted.
It also helps that now they're like in a safe zone, you know? Like now this is like gonna make them money.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna do this. They wouldn't have taken the risk before to come out with something that would have like something new that's genuinely really cool, right?
Yeah. I don't think they're risking a lot by releasing any movie at this point, which is a little scary to think about, but they can literally pump out anything out of their fucking ass and people will still fucking watch it. If you go to Disney Plus, there's so many TV shows that you probably would have never heard of that are attached to Marvel, right? But there are people that fucking consume that shit daily. Did you know there's a Guardians of the Galaxy TV show?
Is there really?
There is, and it's animated. I didn't know. Did you know there's 4 of those fucking Guardians of the Galaxy animated TV shows? And guess when they came out? After the fucking movie, right? It's very much like they can pump out anything at this point, and people will still watch it. And I don't know. It's very interesting.
It works really well with superheroes because it's one of those genres that like old and young can enjoy it together.
They'll never end.
Yeah, it will never end.
It's always comics. They'll always keep on going and going until they stop. Until the creator's just like, I'm done with this one.
Hopefully like Marvel never becomes like a monopoly on like the superheroes.
Oh, it already has.
I know it has to a point. But there are still lots of independent things and different studios out there that aren't Marvel and that people know that are superheroes.
They have a monopoly on the whole superhero genre. That's what it is. Whenever a DC movie comes out, you want to know the first comparison they draw? It's to fucking Marvel. They're just
true.
like, this looks like, oh my God. I remember when the Suicide Squad trailer came out, right? And almost all of the comments were just like, Guardians of the Galaxy called. They want their music back.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Because they used old music. Guys, news fucking flash. Guardians of the Galaxy did not popularize 70s fucking music, you fucking twats. Like, it's literally so fucking dumb that these people are saying it. But Marvel has that hold. They have that entire hold on the superhero genre that makes them so powerful, that if you see something from Dark Horse Comics, Image Comics, like Invincible, right? The number one thing they're gonna compare to is it's Marvel. Because they're the number ones. They're fucking supreme.
Would you even say that with like Watchmen?
Yeah.
It's a shame because like anything else outside of Marvel, I enjoy it more. Mm-hmm. Genuinely, I don't know. It feels more like a real story to me. It feels more developed, and like that's not saying Marvel isn't. I don't know. It's tricky when it comes to Marvel because I don't want to upset anybody.
No, what it is just that you can find more intriguing stories outside of the Marvel mainstream, right? Because Marvel's got some real underdogs that are underutilized right now, like X-Men. Fuck, they never do any X-Men shit anymore, practically because everyone's lost interest about it. But the X-Men stories, they're all fucking great, right? The ones that don't make it on screen, they're the ones that are fucking dope. There's one story about a kid and his power is that he can blow up and only once. And they made an entire comic about it. That's pretty fucking interesting. I would love to make a goddamn movie about that. It's good, but it'll never see the light of day, right? Because Marvel, they're going to prioritize all of their shit. But, outside comics, there's always going to be so much more interesting media outside of the mainstream one. Always. Fucking whichever studio, Universal Studios, is your favorite or whatever, right? There's always going to be the fucking A24, the fucking Neon, or fucking... You say that,
like, those are becoming the mainstream now?
Yeah, they are. It's like, you ever notice like
how
mainstream now? Yeah, you ever notice how weird that is, right? That one era where everyone's just like, oh, it's so cool to be a hipster, right? Because it's away from the mainstream, and it
literally became so cool that it became mainstream.
Yeah, it became the new mainstream. And you had a bunch of people saying, I'm not mainstream, when they're in the fucking mainstream. They're flowing down it. They're on the fucking Minecraft boat going down the fucking river. That's how fucking mainstream they are. Like, it's the same thing with A24. They're right now at a balance of movie studios where they're getting so popular that pretty much it's gonna be a common household name in filmmaking, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's still a good enough amount of people that don't know it, or at least consume the media without even knowing it's from A24, like Euphoria, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
it is. It's man, companies, corporations, they all got a grab on us. They got a grab on my cock and ball.
It sucks. We should have no association with any sort of company. Let's sell all our items that we own. I kind of don't want to do that, though.
I don't want to be attached to Audio-Technica or Apple or Huawei or Microsoft or Samsung.
So, quick turn of events, complete A-turn. It has nothing to do with anything we've been saying.
Okay, yeah.
Throwing away our stuff is... There's this audio on TikTok that was, popularizing. It was, from Adventure Time. It was when Jake is, holding this cup. He's like, see this cup right here, man? This is my favorite cup. And he throws the cup and he breaks it. But people are actually starting to break their favorite cups. And they're like... making it a trend to not attach yourself to items. Bro, if I am not attached to items, I am nothing. Okay? I am not only just my favorite dress, but I am my favorite cup. I am my favorite blanket. You know what I mean? I am my favorite plushie. I am my favorite pair of shoes. These are things that I make myself up of because I have no idea who I am inside. It's crazy.
I think it's kind of dummy when people use that audio.
You think so?
I think so. Because what it is just that a lot of the message, like, in that show, right? We're not going to forget that the show is mainly made for kids. I'm not saying that adults can't take anything out of it. They can, right? But it is mainly made for kids. A lot of the people that use that audio, you can tell they are people that already believed in that, like, fucking statement, that audio, right? And now it's become like, oh my God, it's profound that I'm even thinking like Jake the dog. Can you believe that? Like, that's why I think it's fucking stupid. It's the equivalent to a TV show, like, for kids, like fucking Paw Patrol. If Paw Patrol just came out and was just like, be yourself, don't stop believing in yourself. If someone took that, right, applied it to like a fucking TikTok audio, and it's them voicing over going like, be yourself, don't stop believing in yourself, right? I think a lot of people would be like, that's fucking stupid. So why isn't anyone saying it about fucking Adventure Time? It's a great show, great messages, right? But guys, let's not forget that we already believed in that sort of shit at this point. At least a large amount of people already fucking believed in it. Anyways, I'm just bitter. I'm just bitter about that shit. I just hate when people are trying to act like they're the most profound person in the world, when in reality, it's like you're thinking like the majority of people around the world. You're not saying shit that's like fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah, just
right?
Know that you know nothing.
Yeah. It's just fucking... It's okay. We all don't have to be profound. We all don't have to be impressive, you know?
Sometimes...
We can believe the shit that we see.
Sometimes a 7-year-old will know more than you. That's okay.
Okay, Facebook mom. You ever see those Facebook posts that are just like, my 7-year-old son walked up to me and said, holy shit, Karl Marx was on to something. And I was like, I love my 7-year-old son. It's like, yeah, sure. I'm sure he said that.
I definitely
I'm sure he pays your fucking taxes
see
too.
Those anymore, but I do see TikToks where it's like kids, right? And they're talking like really profoundly. They're being like,
I already know what you're talking about.
It's okay if you feel this way. You won't feel this way in the future.
And the girl's crying because like something happened to her, like her fucking boyfriend
broke
up with her.
They're just like, you know, they're being really cute, really sounding adult, but like in my head I just know that like they're just regurgitating what their parents said.
Exactly.
Like,
they're probably regurgitating what that fucking person said to them.
Yeah, it's good that like it's healthier than what we had to go through as kids, but also it feels very like staged.
Stupid. It feels stupid as fuck. I don't want a kid telling me to be like, oh, you know, it's okay to feel sad. I've been sad before, and look sweet, where I am now. It's sweet, right? Oh, it's so cute. But for fuck's sake, dude. Shut the fuck up, you little fucking bastard. Little piece of shit.
Know? You're 5. I can't pay my rent this month, Billy.
It's just like, yeah, fuck you, Billy. I don't give a shit if you've been here before. I'm here right now, and it sucks. You fucking bastard.
What do you know about having to pay rent?
I never loved you.
Oh, that's horrible.
Ugh.
Ooh, I got garlic on my foot. It's like garlic skin, to be more specific.
That's awesome. I'm just about ready for bed. We filmed this like pretty late-ish into the night.
Man, it's about
Yeah, check your fucking watch, huh?
It's about 11:30.
Can you believe this Joker? This Joker doesn't even have a fucking watch.
Before you go,
yeah.
I will, for the audio viewers, I will describe what you're seeing, and for the visual viewers, you can just see it. It's like a little clown, and he's like pointing to a little eye, and he's like, "Well, look at this eye," and the eye's like glowing. That's all you need to know.
Holy fucking shit. That was the best arts I've ever seen. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching and listening. It's been a pretty chill episode, you know. I'm just about to brush my teeth. Vomit out the rest of this beer, go to sleep. But thank you to my lovely wife.
Thank you for having
joining me. Of course, it's always a pleasure.
Anytime.
Here's a little kiss for the...
I have a lot more to talk about.
Okay.
Whenever you need a filler episode. Whenever
I need to fill her up.
I don't condone those words that you just said.
Well, it's not my fucking fault. Okay, you set me up for the joke.
I did.
You said fill her.
I didn't.
And it sounded like fill her. It literally sounded exactly like what you said. It was a perfect setup.
That's up to debate.
What, are you gonna fucking judge Robin Williams for improving on Aladdin, 1996?
No, I would never. He's a great
exactly.
Actor.
So what? Am I different?
You're comparing yourself to greatness, and right now that does not make
I'm
sense.
comparing myself to a sad clown.
When you're editing this,
that's me.
Zoom into our mouse.
My mouse? Alright. Oh, fuck. Good night. Bye.